Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am talking about how to plan solo travel to a music festival. For those that don't know me, my name is Ada. I'm a music festival content creator. I have a blog and a YouTube channel all about going to music festivals. And I did do a video a very long time ago about going to a festival, going to a show by yourself. And I will put that up here so you guys can check it out. But I talk about how freeing and how exciting it can be to go to a festival by yourself, even though it can be very stressful. And so a lot of you guys did really like that video. Kind of wanted to do a part 2 to that video about, okay, this is great and all, knowing the benefits of going to a festival by myself, but like, how can I go? We're just gonna talk about how you plan that solo travel part, from the transportation to the hotel to how to get there and your personal safety as well. If you are new here, I'd love it if you join the Vibe Tribe by hitting the subscribe button to vibe with me. And you can also find me on social media at Vibe with Ade. If you do like videos like this, please do give it a thumbs up just so I know and have an idea. And if you guys have any questions or any comments or anything like that, feel free to comment them down below. So the first step obviously is determining what festival you are going to. So once you kind of have an idea of where you are going, whether it's in-state, out-of-state, anything like that, that kind of begins the planning process. Obviously, if you are going to a festival in-state, you are going to have a little bit different of a planning process depending on how close you live to the venue, if you're going to have to drive to the venue, get a hotel or anything like that. When I first started going to festivals, I lived in Arizona, which has a really great and awesome rave scene where I didn't really have to plan for buying flights or getting a hotel or anything like that because we were about 20 minutes from the venue. That worked out really well. And then when I moved to Texas, I did go to Austin City Limits by myself weekend 2. And I lived about 15 to 20 minutes from the venue then. So I didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. The first solo festival I went to by myself was Freaky Deaky 2017. So that one I had to figure out, okay, I'm gonna drive to that festival because it's in Houston, and then I'm going to have to get a hotel by myself and figure out all that kind of logistics. So depending on where you're going, once you decide what that festival is, you can see the kind of thought process I'm thinking of. The first thing you'll want to figure out is how you're going to get to your destination, wherever that may be. So whether you're going to drive, fly, take a train, whatever it is. I personally fly whenever I can, unless it is something that's in Texas. Everything in Texas is pretty close to each other when you're traveling between Dallas, Austin, and Houston, and San Antonio. So I typically drive for things like that. But if I'm going outside of Texas, I will look at flights. I use Southwest. I am a Southwest girl. I have their credit card, so I get points on my purchases that I can use towards flights, so I really do like that. And I highly recommend getting some type of airline credit card at some point if you are ready for that kind of commitment. I think it's really great and helps you kind of get some rewards, and you can use them on your flights. If you're not the type of person that goes on Southwest and you're just trying to find the cheapest flight, you can use things like Google Flights, Hopper, Expedia. They kind of give you those deals and kind of let you know what are the cheapest flights. You can also monitor your flights to see when prices change and things like that. So that is kind of something that you can look into when it comes to flights. I know some people also do Greyhound buses. That could be something. You would just have to give some more leeway time depending on where you're traveling to. So you might have an extended period of time. For me, I can't really take that much time off, so I'm just trying to get the quick and easy in and out option most of the time, which I just do with flying. The next thing to factor in is where to stay. So you have a couple of options to kind of choose when it comes to where to stay. Obviously, you want to factor in how close you're going to be to the venue, because depending on how close you are to the venue will impact how much your ride shares or taxis may be, or if you're going to drive to and from the venue, thinking about parking and things like that. You can look into hotels, and you can do something like Expedia or hotels.com, booking.com, where you can look and see what's the cheapest rate for a one-person reservation, what's like the nightly rate and everything like that, and compare that pricing. You can also look at hostels. I know in some cities there are hostels. I know Austin, we have a couple hostels. New Orleans has some hostels. So you can also take a look at some of those things. And then you would be surrounded by maybe other people that might be going to that festival. I've never stayed at a hostel for a music festival. I feel like that's more of like a European kind of thing, but it is an option, and sometimes the rate is really great. The one thing you might just have to be aware of is your stuff. If you're sharing the room with other people and things like that, that's always just something to kind of be aware about. The next option, which I'm so excited to be announcing, is that I am partnering with Roost. If you guys haven't heard of what Roost is, it's basically a way for you to find a roommate if you are traveling solo, or if you are a pair or a couple trying to find other people to split a room with. Roost helps travelers find their ideal roommate. That way you can cut the hotel bill in half. It works kind of like Hotwire, if you guys have ever been there, where you'll select a hotel with the 2, 3, 4-star kind of rating and choose a neighborhood near the venue you want to stay in. When you're looking at the website, you can see things like EDC, Buku, all the different festivals listed, and they'll have hotels in those different neighborhoods. Then you can view profiles of all your potential roommates going to the festival. You can filter roommate profiles by sex, age, rating, and other personal preferences, and read reviews from past roommates to find your ideal roommate. Once you choose a roommate, 50% of your payment will be refunded back to the card that you used, and you'll find out the exact name of your hotel. One of the biggest benefits is that you'll always have a bed in a pretty nice hotel, nothing like a cheap motel that looks super sketchy. And then after that, you'll coordinate with your roommate about when you guys are gonna check in and everything like that. They also just launched a really cool feature called List Your Stay. If you already booked a hotel or Airbnb and you need to fill any of the empty beds, then you would be able to fill it through this process and get paid for it. I think Roost is a super great option if you are trying to stay within budget and want some company. They do pride themselves in taking a lot of safety precautions with background checks, and they do help out with any serious matters if you have any issues during your stay. You can also choose how independent you want to be. So if you want to be buddy-buddy with this person and become friends with them, then that's great. But if you guys want to kind of do your own thing, you guys can establish that as well. If you guys are interested in Roost, I do have a code you can use, Buy with Aid, and get $50 off. I will link them down below and everything like that. I think this is super awesome for solo travelers just because it can be really nerve-wracking trying to figure out the cost of everything, and I wouldn't want something like the cost or going alone deter you guys from getting to experience these festivals, new places, things like that. They also have different cities on there too, so if you're just trying to go to a city, you can also use that. I did talk to a girl that has used Roost. It was called Room Split before. I talked to her and she actually went to GovBall and she used the platform to find a roommate. And that really solidified it for me because she talked about her experience and what it was like, you know, meeting her roommate, and they both were just looking for someone to split the room with, and they both were light sleepers. I think that was one of the criteria that they were looking for in the other. And so they both appreciated having, you know, a quiet room because they're both light sleepers, and they both weren't really looking to make friends, so they could just kind of do their own thing. They didn't feel this like attachment to wanting to spend time with the roommate. Of course, if that's something that you're looking for, you're wanting to find a friend, this platform would be great for that, but that was just for her specific case. So I did want to make sure that someone has used this platform to make sure it's good to go, it's safe for you guys, and if you guys were to have any issues, that team is so great and they would be able to help you guys out. So definitely go check out Roost, and you can use Vibe with Aid for $50 off your next booking. So go do that. So you got your transportation to your destination figured out, you got your hotel figured out. The next kind of thing that is a big thing to plan out ahead of time is to just have your game plan figured out of how you're getting to and from the festival. Are you gonna be driving? Are you gonna be taking a ride share? Things like that. When I went to Freaky Deaky by myself, I drove. I made sure that I had enough money for parking, I had enough gas, everything like that. And then when I went for ACL, I made sure to do Ubers and Lyfts, and I would always go to the festival early and I would leave the festival early just so I wasn't in the big group of traffic trying to leave the festival, and I also would be getting cheaper Ubers and Lyfts and everything like that. Even just leaving like 10 to 15 minutes earlier does save you so much time and money, so I highly recommend doing that when you can. If you're doing ride shares, that's just my pro tip, I guess you could say. Make sure that you have a game plan and that you let anyone that's close to you that knows that you're gonna be at this festival what your game plan is, just so they have an idea. If you want to share your location with them, that's always kind of a good safety tip, just to let someone know like, hey, I'm getting in this Uber, and things like that, just to make sure that you're gonna be safe. And that brings me to my last thing, is overall safety. Make sure you have an understanding of what safety resources there are for you at the festival and outside of the festival. God forbid for something to go wrong, but you just never know. So a lot of festivals do have lost and found, they have medics, they have security, police on hand, everything like that. So if you ever do feel unsafe at any point, definitely reach out to someone just to make sure that you're gonna be okay. Your safety is the #1 priority. Safety is a big reason why a lot of people don't attend music festivals by themselves, but it really is going to be okay, and you can feel supported. And while you're at those festivals, you can make friends with people, and if it's a multi-day festival, you can meet up with them the next day and kind of have a group. That's kind of one of the benefits of going alone, is that you can make friends throughout the festival so you don't totally feel alone. And a lot of these places do have things in place to make you feel connected with others and to get involved and things like that. Outside of the festival, what I always do is I tell my parents, I tell some friends, hey, I'll be at this festival this weekend. Here's my itinerary and everything. Like, this is my flight info, hotel info, everything like that. If you were to do Roost, I would probably give the contact number of my roommate to my parents or to whoever, just to like let them know. I take all those precautions, and while it sounds crazy, it's just kind of what I've grown to do, and it makes me feel more secure. It makes my loved ones feel more secure about me going to a festival. Definitely take those extra measures. Share your location with your friends, check in with them every now and then. I think that will just make them feel better as well. I hope this does help, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. And I'd love to thank Roost for partnering with me on this video. They have been so awesome to work out, so definitely go check them out, and you can use Vibe with Ada for $50 off on your next booking. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment them down below. If you did like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button to vibe with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.